Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Compassionate, the Most Merciful, all of our viewers out there, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon all of you out there, and thank you for joining us again in the rational, the intersection of faith and reason with our beloved guest here, Dr. Yassir Sheikh Idris. Dr. Ja'far, we are speaking about jihad, an indeed important topic because of how much controversy there is about this topic out there and how it's being misused and wrongly introduced about Islam and Muslims generally speaking. And we stopped at the point where we were talking about when do we resort to jihad or to war, and you mentioned the first condition and you said when all peaceful means are exhausted. And I'm reminded here by the statement of the Prophet, peace be upon him, when he said, لا تتمنوا لقاء العدو واسألوا الله العافية.
Yes.
Do not wish to meet your enemies in the battlefield and ask Allah to resolve this conflict via peaceful means. Of what you see nowadays, generally speaking, of all the wars that are taking place, do you feel that this aspect is really fulfilled? Do people really seek that?
And before that, I think that we said that the main justification for war is to stop aggression. And then we said what you have just been saying, that even in this case, you don't resort to war immediately once an act of aggression is committed. You try to solve the problem peacefully. You exhaust all peaceful means. And then if there is no other means except to go to war, then you go to war.
Okay. And what about contemporary times? Do you feel that is being fulfilled, that condition out there? Do we really go out there and seek every
Who are
possible?
we? We are now, Muslims are very weak people. War is being waged against them. They cannot even defend themselves now. That's why I wonder when people talk now in contemporary times about the danger of jihad or whether the war was, whether Islam is spread by the sword or by the mouth, or because Muslims are weak. Their lands have been colonized, their wealth has been looted. They are trying to imitate the West. There is no jihad now. There is no. Of course, some groups of Muslims, just like Al-Qaeda or so, these are the people who are accused of. These are the exception. These are the people who are accused of waging jihad. But interestingly enough, even these people don't say that we do this because these are non-Muslims. I mean, to be fair to them, they don't say this. They say we are defending our brothers in Palestine or in Afghanistan or so. So the idea that jihad is to kill non-Muslims does not apply even to these people. I'm not saying that what they are doing is right, but you must be fair to them. This is this is not what they are saying. They are saying because Muslims have been wrong has been done to Muslims, and we think that this is the only way to stop that aggression against Muslims. So there is no. I don't think that there is any jihad in. Take the problem of Darfur now in the Sudan. The government has not been able even to stop these rebels. Why? Because they were given arms and money and so on by people in the West. Sometimes it is said, I haven't visited the place recently, but sometimes when they go into war with government with the army, it is said that some of the weapons are even better than that of the of the Sudanese army. And that is why the West now wants, they have found this as a justification for interfering in the Sudan. They tell the government, since you cannot stop this war and since so many lives are being lost, this is something inhuman. It has to be stopped. If you can't stop it, then let us come and step in and stop it. So there is no problem about Muslims waging war or jihad or.
Sheikh, you mentioned this idea of people giving other people weapons. Yeah. I remember reading once in the books of fiqh where it forbade the selling of arms during a fitna. In a sense that if you're not able to bring the peace, then do not promote.
At least, yes.
Do not promote that war that is taking place out there.
And I think this is the problem now in modern times, that if people rebel against a Western government, say United States or Britain or so, then they can stop that, because usually the power of the government is stronger than that of the rebels. And you can think of so many cases in the United States and the war against this Ireland, the war in Britain, and so on. But in Muslim countries, other more powerful countries come to the help of the rebels, and therefore the war continues. The war continues. For example, this war in the Sudan, according to some estimates, about 2 million people lost their lives. Why? If the government was strong, it would have stopped this, and less lives would have been lost.
Yeah. It's sadly, Sheikh, sometimes some governments, their economics is a war-based economy, meaning that a war must be taking place somewhere in order for that economy to thrive. And I believe that's why that statement was made, that all wars are economics. And you alluded to this earlier when you said that it was about the exploitation of other people.
And not only, it reminded me of something that many Westerners, especially in the United States, say, that to unite the people, you have always to tell them that there is an enemy. And they say, once communism collapsed, and that was the main enemy. And this was the way you could carry all the people with you and unite them and so on, tell them. Now, they started looking for a new enemy. And the best candidate was Islam. So some people say in the West that this is one reason why there is so much talk about Islam and the danger of Islam or Islamic people. So motives for war can be very bad motives.
Unfortunately, and it seems that people are making very good use of that. Sheikh, you also said that when war is waged, it has to be on the condition that this war is winnable, because the purpose behind it is to eliminate and stop aggression. And if you're not able to do that,
then don't.
At that point, don't even.
It becomes even illegitimate. You remember the case of the Muslims at Mecca when they were a minority, and they were persecuted. In fact, there was some worst kind of persecution. But in spite of this, they were ordered, "Kuffu aydiyakum wa aqimu as-salah," withhold your hands and pray.
Do not fight back.
Don't fight back. Because, and the reason, it's not mentioned in the verse, but the reason was very clear. If you fight back, they will exterminate you. There will be no Muslims there because they are so strong compared to you. And so don't fight, because this will give them a good justification for fighting you and killing you. So don't. So one good thing about a true religion like Islam is that, as we have been saying all this time, it's very rational. You have to assess the consequences of you don't. No order, as someone said, no order in Islam is absolute. All commands are conditional. All commands are conditional. There is a command to pray, there is a command to make hajj, there is a command to make zakah, there is a command to make jihad, but all these are conditional.
Meaning?
Yes, you don't do this until the conditions are fulfilled. You don't say, God told me to fight, and I am going to fight, and I don't care what happens. Someone told me this. I said, you care in your daily life, you care. Why don't you care when it comes to religion? It was very cold, and he was wearing an overcoat. I said, well, if you don't care, take off this overcoat. Wear a shirt, short sleeves. You care. You behave rationally in your daily life, but when it comes to religion, you become irrational because you think that this is how religion should be. Many people think that there is no compromise, that religion does not give you the chance to make any compromise. Either the whole
100% or
0%. 0%. That's not true. That's not true.
Sheikh, we do have more questions about this topic. We will have to take a short break, and we will be back. So please stay tuned, and we will return, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Why righteous companions? It is Islam that given us the sense of dignity. I love all of them in a way that you cannot imagine. That Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anh would say something and the Quran would come down matching what he said. والسابقون الأولون من المهاجرين والأنصار والذين اتبعوهم بإحسان رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه. Just compare what you did for Islam with just one of them.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, and welcome back to The Rational, the intersection of faith and reason. We're talking here with Dr. Ja'far Sheikh Idris. Dr. Ja'far, we're talking about some of the conditions that would make, actually they're part of the ethics of war, as well as when is war legitimate.
No.
One of the conditions that you have listed is that only combatants are to be targeted.
Yes.
Sheikh, in modern wars today, you've got things like bombs, you've got things like missiles and what have you. And I remember reading in a Maliki book, in Mukhtasar Khalil, one in the jurisprudence of the Maliki school of jurisprudence, and he clearly stated that you may not poison an arrow and you may not use fire in the process of killing people. And I was very surprised when I read this, because an arrow can only kill one person at a time. But even then he said, do not poison that arrow. And he said, do not use fire as a form or a tool to eliminate your enemy. More on only combatants are to be targeted.
Yes. Yes. Of course, some people now say, we can't do this now because once you throw a bomb, and this is what they call now collateral damage. They kill as many innocent people as they kill combatants, and I don't know about the details, whether this can be avoided or not.
But in principle, Sheikh.
In principle, yes.
Okay.
But if it happens in spite of all the precautions that you took, then this is something they cannot avoid. As we said before, commands are not absolute. If I cannot say that if I cannot avoid killing non-combatants, then I will not fight. You don't say this. You do your best to avoid killing combatants. You do your best to abide by the orders and the prohibitions. But if circumstances do not allow you to do this, then you will be forgiven.
Sheikh, what about this idea that because they've killed innocent people from amongst us, we're going to retaliate by killing innocent people from amongst them?
No, you don't do this.
And people quote the Quran, al-aynu bil-ayni, an eye for an eye.
No, you don't kill innocent people, because if someone commits an act of, say, fornication against Muslim women, you don't go and do the same to their women, because if something is an evil in itself, then it is an evil. It can't be. There is no justification for killing innocent people.
In this type, even if it
because yes.
Being this type of retaliation. Sheikh, another condition that you also put here is that you say the unnecessary damage should not be made to lands or plants or animals.
Yes.
Almost like you're saying that even in war, respect the ecology of that place.
Yeah, because you don't destroy the means of life, because you can destroy these people. Some other people will come and live on those means of life. So the nature is not to blame for what human beings do. So you don't do this.
And nature was not our enemy
to
begin with.
And yes, and because some other people will benefit from this land, you don't. Why do you kill animals, for example?
Okay. Sheikh, he also lists another condition here, and he said that war must be stopped once peace is either achieved or once the means or the whatever it is that we were after is accomplished.
Yes.
Meaning that you do not carry on. Now it does not become revenge at this point.
And if the purpose is achieved, if the people say, okay, we'll stop this aggression, and we'll want to make peace with you, and we regret what we have done, then the purpose for waging war against them has been accomplished. If you continue to wage war, it will not be for the same noble reason that you started the war with.
And I think that's where the verse comes in. وَقَاتِلُوا الَّذِينَ يُقَاتِلُونَكُمْ وَلَا تَعْتَدُوا.
Yes. Fight those who fight you, but don't be the aggressors. Because remember that the main purpose of Islam and the main task of the Muslims is to invite people to the truth. Because God gives you more reward when He makes you the means of converting a person, make him accept the truth, than when you kill them. You have more reward by inviting them to the truth than by killing them. Killing cannot at all be an end in itself. Mm-hmm. Killing is always something, yes, you can say evil or bad, that you have to resort to because there is no other means, if there are no other means of stopping the evil that these people are doing. And war is justified because of the fact that not all people are just. Some of people become arrogant when they have power. They want to take other people's land or wealth or so. So they have to be stopped. And in fact, war saves life. This kind of war, I mean, saves lives. Because if you allow the aggressor to continue killing people, exploiting them, there will be more evil in the world than when you resort to war, in spite of the fact that it is itself not a good thing, but when you resort to it as a means to stop that aggression and that evil, then it becomes justified and it becomes good.
Sheikh, you remind me of a quote that I heard from Father Desmond Tutu from South Africa. And he said that in a case of injustice, if you decide to be neutral, then you have chosen the side of the oppressor.
Of course, because there is no neutrality here. When you say I am neutral, this means you are saying to the oppressor, go on,
I have no problem with
I will not interfere. This problem is with you, between you and these other people. So what he said, I think, is very true.
Sheikh, we have a few minutes left. It seems that we have a problem within the religious community where people are willing to die for the religion, but the same people are not willing to live by the commands of that religion.
Is that true?
They
would go to the extent of sacrificing their lives and not pray or fast or...
I think it had to do with the fact that they said the ultimate expression of faith is me sacrificing my life to this faith that I have. However, sometimes even same people are not living by the commands of this faith that they have. And I find that to be a bit problematic. You're saying that it in itself, it is praised in the condition that other obligations have also been fulfilled.
I don't have any experience like this, but I can remember only the case of one young man who was religious, but who told me that he's going to Afghanistan, the first war
against the
Soviet Union, and he thought that would be the easiest way for him to go to paradise. But he was a good person. He was praying and so on. But he thought that he cannot be a learned person. He said that he doesn't have the ability to be a alim, to be a learned person. He has the ability to fight and get killed. So what could I have said to him? But if someone goes to war just as if he is committing suicide, of course that will not be accepted. Because if someone despairs and thinks that his life is not worth living, and then says to himself, "Why don't I go and get killed?" I don't think that would be a good motive. Because as the hadith you quoted, لا تتمنوا لقاء العدو لا تتمنوا لقاء العدو واسألوا الله العافية. Don't wish for meeting your enemy. And the hadith which says, فوالله, was it the hadith or yes, لأن يهدي الله بك رجلا واحدا خير لك من حمر النعم. That if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes you the means of him guiding someone the truth, then this would be better for you than the best of wealth. This is what is meant by Humra al-Na'am.
Sheikh, finally, what about other aspects of jihad, where specifically the word jihad is used? It said that once a young man was about to go to the battlefield, And the Prophet ﷺ asked, are your parents alive? And he said yes, and he said فَفِيهِمَا فَجَاهِدْ. So commit yourself, let that be your jihad. In other words, fulfilling your societal obligations to...
Yes, because it is not the case that everyone is ordered to go and fight in whenever there is war. It depends on the kind of war, the ability of Muslims to stop that aggression. If a few Muslims can do that, then it does not become obligatory on other people to do the same. Even I remember that with this war of Afghanistan, the first war, some people came to one of the sheikhs, I think it was Sheikh bin Baz, and said that this war has become, in the Islamic expression, fard ayn, that it has become obligatory on every individual. He said, no. It is better that some people stay and teach people Islam and so on, so long as the Afghans themselves are saying that we don't need more human beings, we need more money, we need weapons, we need people who are trained and so on. But if everyone comes, there will be a liability on, a burden on them instead of helping them.
Yes. Sheikh Ja'far, your message was loud and clear. Jihad is to eliminate oppression regardless of who the oppressed are and who the oppressors are. Such a beautiful, noble concept that unfortunately is either misrepresented by some Muslims or by the media out there. On behalf of our viewers, we say Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much for being with us. And thank you also for being with us. Until we meet next time, we say so long and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.